Hi everybody, it's Julianne Lee from Adored Base Apothecary, and I want to talk to you about something pretty gross, and that's yeast. Yeast is a disgusting little cell that has a tremendous amount of toxins. One actually is acetone, which is the same thing that's in nail polish. The toxins that they produce in your dog's body is what causes the havoc to happen. So hot spots, stinky, taco-y smelling, gross, people have said smells like dirty feet or dirty socks. Everybody I think has smelt it with dogs that have skin issues. And it's really, really hard to get rid of because when you use things from the vets that are actual yeast drugs, they can actually mutate and change form and become stronger. So we want to kill these things, but we don't want to kill them too quickly because when they die too fast, we get something called yeast die-off or Herxheimer reactions. When that happens, what's actually happening in your dog's body is that they die so fast, and then your dog has like this little graveyard of yeast skeletals in their body. When they're dead in the die-off, they produce 10 to 30 times more toxins. So your dog gets lethargic, they get worse hot spots, their ears blow up, they go back to the vets, they go back on antibiotics, and the whole reaction starts happening again. The antibiotics creates more yeast, and it's just really sad to watch. So what we've done is when I say to people, well, don't give probiotics and don't give kefir, they think I'm crazy because that's what everybody historically has been doing. We've created a protocol that we're hoping is we've seen so far, it's been really amazing because we're approaching it from a completely different place. We're approaching it from sort of like a strategic planning war on yeast. So we change your dog's diet, we recommend a diet change, and then the yeast starts to starve because we're not giving it any carbohydrates or any sugar, and that's what it thrives on. As it's slowly dying, then you start the first part of the protocol, which is a homeopathic remedy to help for the detoxification. The next step is a powder that we've produced that has a specific enzyme. This is what's so special, is the specific enzyme doesn't break down food. It actually goes in and starts to eat the skeletal system of the yeast. Then we have something called Podarco, and we have something called caprylic acid, which also kills yeast, but it kills the yeast and it also softens the skeletal nature of the yeast itself. So what we're trying to do is slowly kill them and then ingest them at the same time so that we don't get this weird die-off and think the dog is actually getting more yeast and then go back to the veterinarians. The next thing in the protocol is liver tonic, because when the toxins are in there, the liver needs to be as strong as it possibly can be to clean the blood. These things are really gross. They're hairy little cells that literally embed themselves in your dog's gut. And when they do that, they actually cause gut trauma. So people say to me, well, why wouldn't I just do the leaky gut? Well, sometimes the leaky gut protocol ramps your dog's immune system up so strong. If your dog actually has a bad yeast infestation, they can look like they're getting worse because we're making the dog stronger. Stronger the dog gets, the faster the yeast dies. Faster the yeast dies, the more probability that they're going to get the yeast die-off toxicity. So now what we were hoping that if your dog has had a diagnosis of yeast or you smell the smell of yeast, is start the protocol first, let's deal with the yeast, and then we can go into healing the gut. So I hope that helps. Give us lots of feedback because we love it.